Ever try to, I don't know, peek through a frosted window? That's kind of what we're dealing with today, folks. Cataracts. And we're really diving deep this time. Got stuff from the Mayo Clinic. They're English and Spanish articles, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, plus the super interesting Spanish PDF we found, and even a video and article from, get this, the American Academy of Ophthalmology.
We're talking like the A-team of eye experts here.
Exactly. But don't worry, we're going to cut through all that medical jargon, all right? We're going to make sure you know exactly what cataracts are, how you get them, and what you can do about them. Sound good?
Music to my ears. Let's break it down.
Perfect. So first things first, what exactly is a cataract?
Basically, it's when the lens in your eye gets cloudy.
Okay, so like the actual lens.
Yeah, so it sits there right behind your iris, which is the colored part, and the pupil, that black dot in the middle.
Right.
And that lens, it's like the lens in a camera. It takes the light that comes in and focuses it onto the retina, which is at the back of your eye.
Makes sense. So if it gets cloudy.
Exactly. Things get blurry.
So is it like when your camera lens gets smudged?
Well, kind of, but it's a little more complicated than that. See, the lens in your eye, it's made up of these proteins, and normally they're all arranged in this really specific way to keep it clear.
Okay.
But over time, those proteins can start to clump together.
Clump together. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and those clumps, they're what cause the clouding, what we call a cataract. That Spanish PDF described it as the lens becoming opaque, like a frosted window.
Okay, yeah, that frosted window thing, that's actually a really good way to picture it. So what does that mean for someone who's got a cataract? Like, what do they actually see?
Well, as that clouding gets worse, the lens can't focus light as well. So things start to look blurry or dim.
Huh.
Almost like you're looking through a haze or something.
Yeah. Or like those old photographs where the colors are all faded and it's not quite sharp, you know?
Exactly. And here's the thing. In the early stages, you might not even notice it happening.
Right.
It's usually a gradual thing. That's why it's so important to get your eyes checked regularly.
That's a good point. We often don't realize there's a problem until it's like really impacting our lives, right?
Exactly.
But I'm guessing there are times when those changes are harder to miss.
Absolutely. Even though cataracts usually develop slowly, there are definitely some things that should send you straight to the eye doctor. Like if you suddenly start seeing double, or you see flashes of light, or you have sudden eye pain.
Oh, wow. Okay, so those are like red alert, go to the hospital kind of symptoms.
You got it. Don't wait for a regular checkup if that happens. Those need to be checked out right away.
Gotcha. But going back to the more, I don't know, everyday symptoms besides blurry vision, what else might someone with a cataract experience? I feel like a few of the things we read mentioned something about like problems with night vision.
Oh, for sure. Seeing halos around lights, especially headlights at night, is a really common complaint.
Yeah.
Can you imagine trying to drive like that? Talk about dangerous.
Oh, I can only imagine. So scary. And I think, wasn't there something about colors too? Like they look different?
Yeah, a lot of people say the colors just don't seem as bright anymore. Kind of washed out, like someone turned the saturation down on their world.
That's weird. And kind of a bummer. So I've got the blurry vision, trouble seeing at night, the whole color thing. It's like cataracts really mess with just about everything, huh? But is it just something that happens as you get older? Or is there something else going on? So it's not just about hitting a certain number of birthdays then?
Nope. Age is a big one, don't get me wrong, but it's not the whole story. There's a lot more to it.
Like what? Is it in our genes or something?
You nailed it. Family history plays a big role. That Spanish PDF we talked about, it actually said that if your parents or siblings had cataracts, chances are higher you might too.
Huh, okay. So watch out for those family traits, I guess. But what about the stuff we do? Can that make a difference?
Big time. One of the biggest culprits, according to those Mayo Clinic articles, is good old sunshine. Or, well, the UV rays from the sun.
Right, makes sense. It's like how we protect our skin from sunburns, but we forget about our eyes.
Exactly. And it's not just about your eyelids getting a sunburn, haha. It's that UV exposure can actually mess with those proteins in your lens, making them clump up faster.
So sunglasses aren't just a fashion statement, they're like eye armor.
Love it.
What about other stuff though? Like I know we saw something about smoking and alcohol, right? Do those have anything to do with this whole frosted window situation?
Yeah, definitely. Smoking especially, it creates these things called free radicals. They're like little troublemakers that damage cells everywhere, including your eyes.
Yeah.
And heavy drinking. That's been linked to higher cataract risk too.
Wow, it's crazy how much our everyday choices affect our bodies. Speaking of connections, one of the articles mentioned diabetes, right? Something about that and cataracts.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. People with diabetes, especially if their blood sugar's all over the place, they're way more likely to get cataracts.
Really? But why, though? What does high blood sugar have to do with cloudy lenses?
It's all about how our bodies deal with sugar. See, when your blood sugar is always high, like with diabetes, it actually changes the lens itself. That's like, imagine high blood sugar makes things inside your eye sticky.
Sticky!
Yeah, it's not that simple, obviously, but it helps to think of it that way. And that sticky environment makes those lens proteins clump up even quicker.
So it's like that frosted window effect on fast forward. Yikes. Okay, so we've got age, genetics, lifestyle stuff, even diabetes now. Is there anything else that can increase the risk of cataracts? I feel like at this rate, we're all doomed.
Don't worry, it's not all bad news. But you're right, there are a few other things. Like if you've ever had a bad eye injury or eye surgery, or even been exposed to certain types of radiation, all of those can make your lens more likely to cloud up later on.
So it's like our eyes kind of hold on to those past experiences, huh?
That's wild. But let's switch gears for a sec. Let's say someone's listening to us, right? And they're like, wait a minute, my vision's been kind of off. When should they actually go see an eye doctor about all this?
That's the million-dollar question. Haha. Yeah, hopefully the appointment costs a little less than that. But seriously, what should people be looking out for?
Honestly, any noticeable change in your vision is worth getting checked out.
Yeah.
Blurry vision, trouble seeing at night, if colors look weird, those halos we talked about around lights, don't ignore those signs.
And of course, those scarier ones, double vision, flashes of light, sudden pain, those are automatic red flags, right?
100%. Those need immediate attention, no question. But even if it's subtle or it's been happening gradually, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Make that appointment.
Early detection is key, like with anything else. But let's say you do go to the eye doctor and they're like, yep, you've got a cataract. What then? What can they even do about it? So you go to the eye doctor, they say, yep, it's a cataract. What's next? Can they, just clean the lens or something?
Oh man, I wish it were that easy. Once those proteins are all clumped up, there's no going back. Surgery is the only way to actually get rid of a cataract.
Surgery, huh? So it's a pretty big deal then.
Well, it's actually super common and really safe these days, but yeah, it's surgery. The good news is it's not always an emergency. Remember that Spanish source, the one we liked? It mentioned that if the cataract isn't too bad, if it's not really messing with your life yet, sometimes just getting new glasses can buy you some time.
Okay, so it's not like run to the hospital right now, but eventually you will need surgery to get that cloudy lens out, right?
Right. And what they do is they actually replace the lens with an artificial one. It's called an intraocular lens, or IOL for short. It's pretty wild. They take out the old lens and put in this new clear one.
I gotta admit, even thinking about someone messing with my eye kind of freaks me out. But that sounds pretty incredible when you think about it. Did any of the stuff we read talk about what happens after surgery? Is that it? Like, problem solved?
Most of the time, people see way better after they've had cataract surgery, like a night and day difference. But there's one thing I do have to mention. Sometimes that little capsule that holds the new lens in place, it can get cloudy too down the road.
Wait, seriously? So even with the new lens, you can still get that frosted window thing?
It's possible, yeah. But it's not a new cataract exactly. It's called posterior capsular opacification.
Yeah.
Big words, I know. It's actually a pretty common complication, but don't worry, it's usually an easy fix with a laser.
Okay, so nothing to panic about, but definitely something to keep in mind. It seems like there's a lot to think about with cataracts. One last thing that really stuck with me, especially from those Mayo Clinic articles, was all the stuff about prevention. Like, is there anything we can do to, protect our eyes and maybe not have to worry about surgery later on?
Oh, absolutely. We can't stop time, obviously, but there's a lot we can do to keep our eyes healthy as we get older.
So it's not all downhill from here. We have some control. Tell me everything.
Well, you know how important a healthy diet is, right? All that good stuff. It's not just for your heart and all that. It's huge for eye health, too. The Mayo Clinic, they were big on this. Lots of fruits, vegetables, all those antioxidants. They can help protect those proteins in your lens from getting damaged.
So eat your greens, folks. Good for your eyes and your waistline. What else? What else can we do?
Well, we talked about those UV rays. And I know it sounds kind of repetitive, but seriously, wearing sunglasses, even on cloudy days, can make a real difference. It's one of the simplest things you can do to protect your eyes and maybe even put off those cataracts for a bit longer.
Sunglasses. The ultimate 2-for-1 deal. Fashion and function. And what about the other stuff, like the smoking and the alcohol? I'm sensing a theme here.
You're getting it. Quitting smoking, or even better, never starting, is like the best thing you can do for your health, period. And yeah, that includes your eyes. And alcohol, but a little bit's probably fine for most people, but moderation is key, you know?
It's wild how much power we have over our own health, isn't it? We can't choose everything, but all those little things we do, day in and day out, they really do add up. So, as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of cataracts, I think the biggest takeaway for me is that knowledge is power. When you understand what causes cataracts, the symptoms, the treatments, and most importantly, what you can do to protect your vision, you're in the driver's seat.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's not about freaking out about cataracts, it's about arming yourself with the facts so you can make good decisions about your health.
Exactly. You're not just along for the ride, you get to choose the route. We hope this deep dive has helped you see cataracts a little more clearly and maybe even inspired you to make some healthy changes for your precious eyesight. Until next time, everyone, stay curious.